and welcome back to the today's amazing interview session with CC Maya, where we will explore a practical tool for mental and overall well-being. In our fast-paced world, stress and anxiety can easily take over, and knowing quick relaxation techniques can make all the difference. So today we will be diving into the science and practice of breathing exercises, especially how they can help us to relax instantly. So I hope this will be very helpful for the most of the people. And without wasting time, let's get started. First of all, hello Maya, how are you doing?
Gotcha. Sounds good. Hello. I'm doing all right. Ready when you are? What's on the agenda today?
Maya, today's as I told you that today I am going to discuss the one of the most practical and most issuing topic that how we can what's a breathing exercise to relax instantly. So this was what I am going to discuss with you today. So are you ready for it?
Ooh, nice. Yeah, absolutely. Instant relaxation sounds pretty good, honestly. Let's do it. Where do you want to start?
Hi, I am to start with the basics and understanding the breathing exercise and what is it and all the things that sounds basics, so everyone can know that what are these actually. So first of all, Maya, I have a request that please explain everything in detail because you and A chatbots we just answered into one or two lines, so that was not helpful for us to understand and learn something new. So if you will explain everything in detail, so it will help us to learn new things and better understanding from your answers. So I hope you will cooperate with this. So Maya, first of all, without wasting time, what exactly is a breathing exercise? Because most of the people don't.
Fair enough. Got it. Detail is the name of the game. So, let's talk about exercise for instant relaxation. It's not just about going to the gym and lifting weights. It's really about activating your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the one responsible for the rest and digest response, as opposed to fight or flight. When you're stressed, your sympathetic nervous system is dominant, but movement can help shift that balance. Does that make sense as a starting point?
Yes, Maya, that totally makes sense as a starting point, and it was so much good explanation. So now can you tell us why is breathing is considered such a powerful tool for relaxation?
Okay, so breathing, it's seriously underrated, right? It's automatic, so we don't always pay attention, but it's directly linked to your nervous system. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes shallow and fast. That actually signals to your brain that you're in danger, reinforces that fight or flight response. But consciously slowing down your breath, taking deep belly breaths, signals safety to your brain. It lowers your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, and literally sends a message to calm down. It's like an instant reset button. There's a reason why so many meditation techniques focus on breath work.
Okay, that's great, Maya. That was so much great explaining that why breathing is considered such a powerful tool. So my care does how does our breathe connect with the nervous system because it is one of the most important thing that these should connect with. So how can
You're right to zero in on the connection, it's key. Okay, so your breath and your nervous system are linked via the vagus nerve. It's the longest cranial nerve in your body, and it runs from your brain all the way down to your abdomen, touching all sorts of important organs along the way. Deep, slow breathing actually stimulates the vagus nerve, which then increases parasympathetic activity, again, that rest and digest state. It's like giving your vagus nerve a little massage. A stronger vagal tone is linked to better emotional regulation, reduced anxiety, and improved overall well being. It's a two-way street, though. Stress can weaken the vagal tone, and strengthening it can help buffer against stress.
okay, that's great, man. But man, what is the difference between the normal breathing and intentional breathing? That was the most question that most of the people say.
Good question. Normal breathing or resting breathing is mostly unconscious. It's just happening to keep you alive. It's typically shallower and quicker. Intentional breathing, though, is when you consciously control your breath, the depth, the pace, even the ratio of inhale to exhale. It's a deliberate act. Think about box breathing, for example. Inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, holding for 4. Or diaphragmatic breathing, where you focus on expanding your belly with each inhale. It's that conscious control that makes the difference and allows you to tap into those calming benefits we were just talking about. It's less about the breath itself and more about the intention behind it.
Okay, that was so much great explanation. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Maya. And man, now can you tell us one short breathing exercise really relax and instantly, and it should be instant that would instantly relax it.
All right. Instant gratification. I like it. Okay. So, for quick relaxation, a technique I'd suggest is 4-7-8 breathing. It's super simple. You inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts, hold your breath for 7 counts, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 counts. The longer exhale is key. It really helps activate that parasympathetic nervous system. Repeat that a few times, and you should feel a noticeable calming effect pretty quickly. It's almost like a little system hack. Have you
Yes,
tried it
Maya, I
before?
have tried before it, and it was great. Uh, so, Maya, now can we have to start with the science behind breathing? So, can you tell us that uh, how does breathing affect the brain and stress hormones?
Okay, let's get into the science. When you breathe deeply, you're increasing oxygen levels in your blood. That oxygen then gets delivered to your brain, which needs a lot of it to function optimally. But it's more than just oxygen. Deep breathing also impacts something called the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, or HPA axis. That's your body's central stress response system. Chronic stress keeps the HPA axis activated, constantly pumping out cortisol, the stress hormone. Deep breathing helps to regulate the HPA axis, lowering cortisol levels and bringing things back into balance. It's a really direct way to counteract the physiological effects of stress on the brain. Also, the act of focusing on your breath pulls your attention away from racing thoughts, which can further reduce anxiety. It's a win win.
Hmm. Okay, that's great, Matt. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And my character is that what role does acute nerve play in relaxation through breathing? Hello, can you hear me? Maya? Hello.
Yep, loud and clear. Yes, I can hear you. Everything sounds good on my end. It seems like there was a little hiccup there for a sec. Are you still there?
Yes, Maya, I'm still there. I was asking that what role does vagus nerve play in relaxation through breathing?
Ah, okay, good to know we're reconnected. And yes, let's talk about the vagus nerve again. It's the superstar. As we touched on, the vagus nerve is hugely important for relaxation, and breathing is a primary way to stimulate it. When you breathe deeply, you actually physically stretch the vagus nerve, which sends signals to the brain to slow heart rate, lower blood pressure, and promote a sense of calm. A higher vagal tone, meaning the vagus nerve is more responsive, is linked to better emotional regulation and resilience. So, consistently practicing deep breathing isn't just about immediate relaxation, it's about strengthening that vagus nerve over time and building a stronger capacity to handle stress. It's kind of like exercise for your nervous system. Does that make sense?
Yes, Maya, that totally makes sense. It was so much nice explanation to understand it. And Maya, can you tell us that how does keep breathing influence heart rate and blood pressure?
Okay, so this gets into a bit of physiology, but it's pretty neat. When you inhale, your heart rate naturally speeds up slightly. It's called respiratory sinus arrhythmia. It helps ensure your body gets enough oxygen during exertion. However, when you exhale, and particularly a long, slow exhale, your heart rate slows down. That's because the vagus nerve is activated during exhalation and it releases acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that slows the heart rate. Blood pressure works similarly. Deep, slow breathing helps to dilate blood vessels, which lowers resistance and reduces blood pressure. So, this interplay between the vagus nerve, heart rate, and blood vessels that makes controlled breathing such a powerful tool for calming down and lowering physiological stress responses. It's a direct line to regulating your cardiovascular system.
Hmm. Okay, Maya, thank you so much for explaining it. And Maya, now can you tell us that uh, how does oxygen flow in the body change when we slow our breath?
All right. So when we slow our breath, it might seem counterintuitive, but it actually improves oxygen flow. With faster, shallow breathing, you're taking in smaller amounts of air with each breath, and you don't fully utilize your lung capacity. Slow, deep breathing allows for fuller lung expansion, which maximizes the amount of oxygen that gets absorbed into the bloodstream. It also increases the efficiency of gas exchange in the alveoli, those tiny air sacs in your lungs. Plus, the slower pace gives your body more time to absorb the oxygen and deliver it to your tissues. It's less about getting more air in, and more about getting more benefit from the air you do take in. Think of it like sipping water slowly versus gulping it down. You'll actually hydrate more effectively when you slow down. Does that make sense?
Yes, Maya, that truly makes sense. And it was so much good explanation. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And now, Maya, can you tell us that how does keep breathing? Uh, how long should one practical practice to feel instant results?
Ah, instant preserves. I get what you mean. Okay, so there's no hard and fast rule, but a good starting point is 5 to 10 minutes of focused breathing exercises each day. You can do it in one session or break it up into shorter bursts throughout the day. For an immediate calming effect, even just 3 to 5 rounds of 4 to 7, 8 breathing, that inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8 can make a difference. The key is consistency. Like any skill, the more you practice, the more effective it becomes. Over time, you'll likely find you can activate that relaxation response more quickly and easily. It's also about finding what works best for you. Some people prefer longer sessions, others prefer shorter, more frequent ones. Experiment and see what feels good.
Hmm. Okay, Maya, thank
Are
you
you
for
still
detail
there?
about it. And thank you so much
Sometimes
for sharing
the
with
connect.
us. And now, Maya, can you tell us the simplest breathing exercise relax instantly?
Right, simplest brain exercise for instant relaxation. Okay. I'd suggest a quick body scan meditation. It doesn't require any special equipment or training. Simply close your eyes and start by focusing your attention on your toes. Notice any sensations, tingling, warmth, pressure, and slowly move your attention up your body, each body part, your feet, ankles, calves, thighs, and so on, all the way up to the top of your head. Don't try to change anything, just observe. It helps to bring you into the present moment and disengage from racing thoughts. Even a 2 to 3 minute body scan can be surprisingly effective. It's a way of gently anchoring yourself in your physical body and quieting the mental chatter.
Okay, Maya, that was so much
Hello?
nice
Are you
explanation.
still with me?
Yes, I'm still with you, just listening to what you asked. carefully to understand and learn something new. So, may can you tell us what is the biggest 7478 breathing technique and does it work instantly?
Okay, good to hear you're actively listening. You're asking about maximizing the 478 breathing technique and if it really works quickly. Let's break that down. The biggest thing with 478 is the exhale. Making it long and slow is what really stimulates the vagus nerve. Think about gently putting all the air out of your lungs. People sometimes rush it, but the 8 count exhale is crucial. And does it work instantly? It's not a magic bullet, but for many people, yes, it can provide almost immediate relief. You might feel a calming sensation within a few breaths, but it usually takes 4 to 5 cycles to really feel the effects. It's also more effective if you're in a relatively quiet environment and if you're focusing your attention fully on your breath. It's not going to eliminate stress completely, but it's a fantastic tool for quickly bringing your nervous system back into balance.
Hmm. Okay, Maya, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Are you
And
still
yes,
there?
I'm still with you, just
It's
listening to your answer. Maya, can you tell us how many times a day should one practice should that short breathing exercises?
no problem at all. Glad to share. As for how often to practice those short breathing exercises, honestly, as much as you need, there's no real limit. A good baseline is 2, 3 times a day, morning, helpful. But if you're feeling stressed or anxious, you can do it anytime, anywhere. It's like a little reset button you can hit whenever you need it. Even just a few breaths can make a difference. The more you practice, the more readily available it will be as a coping mechanism. It becomes almost automatic, and you'll find yourself naturally reaching for it when you're feeling overwhelmed. Don't think of it as something you have to do, but as something you can do to support your well being.
Hmm. Okay, that's it, Maya. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And now, Maya, can you explain that can slow breathing help with anger or frustration in the moment or not?
Definitely. Slow breathing can be really helpful with anger or frustration in the moment. When you're angry, your breathing becomes rapid and shallow. It fuels the emotional fire. Consciously slowing your breath disrupts that cycle. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which counteracts the fight or flight response and promotes a sense of calm. It doesn't eliminate the anger entirely, but it can give you a little space to step back and think before reacting. It's like hitting the pause button on your emotions. It allows you to regulate your nervous system and make more thoughtful choices rather than reacting impulsively. I'd suggest trying the 478 technique specifically when you're feeling angry or frustrated. It can be surprisingly effective.
Hmm. Okay, that's it, Maya. That's
Are you still
good
there?
explanation. Yes, I am still with you, just listening to your amazing answer. And then now, can you tell us, are there any cultural or ancient practices behind these breathing methods?
That's a really interesting question. Yes, absolutely. These techniques aren't new inventions, you know. Controlled breathing practices have been around for centuries in various cultures. Yoga and pranayama from India, for example, have a huge emphasis on breath control for physical and mental well being. Traditional Chinese medicine includes Qigong, which also uses breathwork to cultivate energy and promote health. Even Christian contemplative prayer traditions incorporate mindful breathing exercises. There are also indigenous practices around the world that emphasize the connection between breath and spirit. So, what we're talking about isn't just some modern psychological technique, but practices rooted in ancient wisdom and traditions. It's a testament to the power of the breath that these methods have been used and refined across cultures for thousands of years. It's pretty cool to think about, isn't it?
Hmm. Okay, thank you for sharing with
Hello?
us. Yes, I am
Still
still with
there?
you. I already are saying
Great.
that my
Any
internet connection is not so good. So that's why it takes some time to answer. So don't worry, don't ask me again and again. I'm still here, I'm still with you. My now going to tell us that how does instant breathing practice can help students in exams.
Okay, good to know. I appreciate you letting me know about the interpretation. I'll keep that in mind. And yes, absolutely. Instant breathing practice can be a lifesaver for students during exams. Exam situations are inherently stressful. Time pressure, anxiety, fear of failure, all of that activates the sympathetic nervous system. Taking a few deep breaths before and during an exam can help to counteract those stress responses. Can lower heart rate, reduce anxiety, improve focus, and even enhance cognitive performance. It's not about eliminating test anxiety altogether, but about managing it effectively. A couple of rounds of 4-7-8 breathing before starting the exam can help calm your nerves. And if you start to feel overwhelmed during the exam, taking a few deep breaths can help you regain your composure and refocus your attention. It's a simple, portable tool that students can use to take control of their stress levels and perform their best.
Okay, that's nice. Yes, man, all
Still
things
with
are
me?
good.
Just checking in.
Not worry. And then how can you tell us, can it improve focus and concentration right away or it is not possible?
Okay, good to hear you're doing well. You're asking if breathing exercises help with immediate concentration or is it a longer term thing? It's actually both. In the short term, deep breathing increases oxygen flow to the brain, which can improve alertness and focus right away. That's the right away part. But it's also a skill that builds over time. Regular practice strengthens the neural pathways associated with attention and concentration. So, the more you practice, the easier it becomes to focus when you need to during an exam, while studying, or even just during a busy day. It's like training a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So, you get an immediate benefit and a cumulative benefit with consistent practice. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, that really makes sense. I was on a nice explanation and according to
Are
you.
you still there?
And now my question is that why do some people feel dizzy while practicing deep breathing?
That's a good question. Some people do experience dizziness during deep breathing exercises, and it's usually harmless, but it's worth understanding why it happens. It's typically related to a temporary drop in carbon dioxide levels in the blood. When you breathe deeply and slowly, you exhale more carbon dioxide than usual. It plays a role in regulating blood flow to the brain. If CO2 levels drop too quickly, it can cause blood vessels to constrict, reducing blood flow and leading to dizziness or lightheadedness. It's more likely to happen if you're breathing too quickly or deeply, or if you're doing it while lying down. And if you start to feel dizzy, simply slow down your breathing or take a few normal breaths, and the feeling should pass. It's generally a sign that you're pushing a little too hard, and it's okay to adjust. It's not something to be worried about, just something to be aware of.
Okay, that's great, Maya. Good to hear
Still
about
with me?
it. Then my trip time was completed. Just 1 minute is left. So in last 1 minute, your advice for someone trying it for the very first time.
Okay, excellent. My advice for someone trying it for the first time would be to be gentle with yourself. Don't try to force it. Start slowly and focus on simply noticing your breath. It doesn't have to be perfect. And don't worry if your mind wanders. That's perfectly normal. Just gently redirect your attention back to your breath each time it happens. Think of it as an experiment, not a performance. Just explore and see what it feels like. And remember, even a few deep breaths can make a difference. It's about creating a little pocket of calm in the middle of your day. It's a skill you can use anytime, anywhere, and it's a gift to give to yourself.
Yes, Maya. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Amazing advice for my viewers.
It sounds like
And thank you so much for these insights, answers on the power of breathing exercise. We have learned how just a few intentional breaths can reset the mind, calm the body, and bring clarity in stressful moment. To everyone watching, remember it only takes 1 minute of conscious breathing to shift your state of mind. Start small, practice daily, and let your breath be your anchor. Until next time, stay calm, stay mindful, and keep breathing. And Allah Hafiz, and in it, as always, Pakistan, Zindabad. Take care of you. Allah Hafiz.